Hey everyone, welcome to another commentary long play. Today we are in another brand new world in peaceful mode, and we are going to do a little bit of building, a little bit of adventuring, and just have a good time and relax while we're doing it. So we can just kick things right off by running somewhere and punching a tree, as all Minecraft adventures start. So let's get over here. I see an excellent tree to get started with. And we can just knock this guy down with our fist. And we'll just start off going with this adventure. So I hope everyone's been having a good week. I hope everyone's been, enjoying hopefully some warmer weather. I have no idea where my viewership comes from. So I have no idea where my viewership comes from, so you guys very well could be somewhere where it's actually starting to get colder, and that's, probably a little sad. Although I don't know, some people might enjoy the colder weather. I personally am not a cold weather guy, so I like having, some warmer days and some longer days. And here in Vermont, it has finally started to the winter has started to break, although we do keep getting snowy days, which is a little annoying because I would love some, we kept getting teased with some warmer 60-degree days, and then out of nowhere we'd get 6 inches of snow, and it would be just a little defeating. But we're getting there. It's little by little and bit by bit, and we can look forward to some warmer days soon, I'm sure. So yeah, in this video, obviously I'm hoping to get up to some building. I mean, we will get up to some building, and I don't really, I kind of seem to be switching back and forth between using an inspiration photo and just kind of going off on my own and just building something from scratch. And I don't really have a plan for today. I'm just gonna kind of mess around and see what comes out. It'll be a fun little experiment, but yeah, we can definitely build something fun and have a good time while we're doing it. If you haven't gone back and watched my other commentary long plays, I would recommend getting into those and checking them out. I have a lot of fun in them, and we build some really cool stuff. And I've been really vibing with having these as part of my kind of bi-weekly video schedule. It's exactly the kind of gameplay that I love doing, and it's exactly the kind of stuff that I personally love watching. And yeah, we'll definitely keep doing this. Let's get down here and grab some stone. Just a little bit will do. I just want to upgrade to a stone pickaxe. Oh, there's some coal down there, but I don't feel like trying to mess with underwater mining right now. Oh, there's some coal right here. Perfect. Let's grab some of that. Oof. I'm gonna upgrade this because the wood pickaxe for this is kind of punishing. Let's get a stone pickaxe going. Let's get back down here and let's grab this coal. All right, with those first little bits taken care of, let's do some exploring. I really like this area. As you probably know from watching my videos, I am a big fan of some plains and some flower forests and just some traditional Minecraft forest. So definitely vibing with this area. As always, we're gonna do a little bit of a hunt for some spruce, because that is, as everybody knows if you've watched my videos, objectively the best wood type. It's just really, really good. I like it a lot, and it just has the right color and hue to it, and I love building with it. It's such a good complement to oak. It's such a good complement to stone. It's honestly a good complement to pretty much every block that you can get. So is this a flower forest island? It might be a flower forest island, which would be super cool. I am into that. All right, let's make a boat. Oh, did I not pick up I did pick up my crafting table. Let's make a boat. This is at spawn, so it'll be super easy to navigate back here if we need to. I always forget that if I don't get in water first, I don't have the recipe for boats. But you can kind of cheat and just build it if you know the recipe. All right, let's do a little adventure here, see what else is out here. So one thing I have been messing with, and it may or may not be obvious, definitely let me know in the comments, is that I have been really playing with my audio settings on OBS. I've been trying to get my voice to sound a little clearer and not be kind of so tinny, and also to clear up some distortions that seem to be consistently happening. And I'm really happy with where I've gotten. I have watched so many YouTube tutorials as to how to get the best audio settings, and how to optimize your OBS audio, and I think I'm starting to get the hang of it. Definitely let me know in the comments though if you have any recommendations for cleaning it up and even further. I know from experience and from people telling me that I have kind of a booming, sort of gregarious, I guess, voice, where it's a little bit louder, it's got a little bit more body to it, and specifically the content I like to create, which is these kind of chill long plays, that almost doesn't really vibe with that, because it can be a little bit too loud for people if they're listening to these. I definitely limit my gain, and usually in editing I'll lower it even further, just so that way it's less of like, this loud booming voice, and more of like just kind of some commentary that's at a decent level. Ooh, what are we looking at here? Let's make some torches. Oh, I should probably make all the sticks. There we go. But definitely let me know if you've been watching my videos, you'll probably have been able to sort of witness the kind of project that it's been, and the progression of me going from, if you watch my first video, which is the first video of the Story World Survival, which if you haven't watched that series, definitely go and watch it, because it is a lot of fun, and we've gotten up to a lot of good stuff and made some really good progress in that world. But if you've watched that series and sort of been with me since the beginning, you know that the audio quality on that particular video is sort of it's just there. It's not like there's commentary, but it's not at all in any sort of pleasing way. And so definitely I think I've made some big improvements. I feel like every day I'm running upstairs to my partner and being like, oh my God, I got the audio to sound even better. Oh my God, it's even better. And every time he just kind of rolls his eyes and he's like, okay, good for you. I'm so excited. And he's like, isn't this like the 5th time that you've gotten the audio to sound better? And I'm like, Yeah, it is, and I'm so excited about it. So definitely a work in progress, and I'm really happy with where we're at now. And hopefully this can be a place that we can land and stay at, so that way all my videos don't have to have like varying levels of audio and you know, different gain and noise gate settings. But yeah, it's been fun. All right, let's keep going down. I definitely want to collect, you know, some iron, because that is essential for getting better tools and, you know, upgrading, getting things like lanterns and chains. Let's get up here. Let's grab this little piece, little pocket of it. Nice, a whole bunch. In the last commentary long play, it was so weird. I found this really deep cave and ended up finding a ton of diamonds, and that was a game changer for the video, because all of a sudden I went from iron tools to diamond tools, and it was just totally, you know, mind-blowing to have one of these sort of short, quick videos have diamond tools in them. This is a good cave though, definitely already, you know, promising. We're already down to deep slate, which is awesome. I swear, if I find more diamonds, I'm gonna laugh so hard. It's gonna be hysterical. Some iron up there. Wow, this is a massive cave. One thing I've been thinking about, and oh my god, one thing I've been thinking about is more diamonds. We'll have to smelt up some iron to get that going. So let's grab this and get some iron smelted. But one thing I have been thinking about is doing like a cave build in one of these episodes. I'd prefer to do it in a lush cave, because obviously that's kind of more habitable. Oh, I don't have any sticks or wood. Darn it. I don't know. We might just need to, I don't know what that just was. We might just need to live without them. It's so hard to pass up diamonds though. When you see them, you're just like, I gotta grab those. There's a bunch of iron over there. This is such a huge cave though. It's gonna be hard to navigate. How much iron do we have? We have 23 iron. Why don't we head back up and do a little bit of smelting and kind of get set up for coming back down here, or even just doing a little bit more exploring, because we barely even covered any ground before I got in here. And I, again, really want to push for some spruce. So let's get back up. And out of here. And if we found a lush cave, I would sort of switch gears on this episode, and we would totally do a lush cave build, which would be super fun. I think it's a night out, but as always in these commentary long plays, we are playing in peaceful, so we don't need to worry about any mobs. We can just hang out, have a good time. I'll probably sleep anyways, just to kind of give myself some light, but and let's cut down a tree and get some more wood and some sticks and just get sorted on better tools. Grab some sticks and let's throw down a crafting table, make a furnace, and let's get some of this iron smelting up. And looks like there's another cave over here. Let's check this out. Is that a cave or is that just a hole in the wall? Just a hole in the wall. No worries. We'll find more caves. Pick up this coal while we're at it, though. Wow, this is a lot of coal. It's good. We're going to need it. I don't even know for what yet, but it's always good to have a nice reserve of coal so that way you can smelt or make a bunch of torches, whatever the need may arise. It's good to have it. Where are we at with this iron? Only got a bunch. That does mean we could make let's turn off. There we go. Okay. Iron pick. Of course, I've got 3 different types of pickaxes in my inventory right now. And then a bucket. That way we could do a little more exploring in that cave, actually get around a little bit. All right, let's head back in here. Maybe grab those diamonds and do a little bit more looking around, because it's definitely an expansive cave system. And to be able to pick up a little bit more iron would be awesome. Oh, it's kind of open to the outside. I guess there's already a water stream coming down here. Although it ends right there, so... Alright, where is this leading to? Can we get... Here, before we go down... Let's see if we can get over. Whoa. Oh. Glow squid. Oops, not what I meant to do. Wanted to throw down a torch. So that way I can kind of mark my path. I got hopelessly lost in one of these caves a little while ago, and it was not fun. No fun had for all. All right. Oh my God. You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. You really can't pass them up when you see them, especially because, again, if I can get a set of diamond tools, it just changes the game because you're not running around having to rebuild your tools over and over again. I see more over there. That's insane. Oh, wait. No, that's glow squid ink. Darn it. I got excited. There's some up there. I don't know how to get to that. So that's pillaring up. There's a few more over there, too. Let's see if there's any more easily accessible. I mean, I'm really on the hunt for iron. But surprisingly, there's more gold in this cave than there is iron. I think that's iron right there. There we go. This is an awesome cave system. Ugh. There we go. There's a lot of waterfalls all over the place. Oh. I see some more down there. Can we easily get this? Oh, a little more over there, although that's, I think, directly over lava, and I don't want to mess with that. That was thrilling. That was some excellent content there. Mining iron underwater with the sort of mining fatigue from being underwater. Oh boy. Oh my god. This cave system is insane. All right, let's grab these for sure. Those are easy to get. Maybe. Oh my god, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. I got no issue with that though. Oh, that's a stone pickaxe. That's not gonna cut it. $16 diamonds, pretty good, pretty good. Oh, some more iron. Let's scoop this up. A little more iron over here. Think I've come full circle. Is this the lava pit? Oh no, it's not. And there's more diamonds there, which we are 100% gonna grab. That is 25 diamonds. That's quite a few, honestly. Because I think you only need 24 for like a full armor set. And is that more? No, that's copper. How much iron do we have? 27, which puts us at something like, I'm trying to think of how much we have up there. I think it's like another 10 or so. I don't know how much iron we're really going to need. Ooh, created like a water slide here. Let's get out of this thing. Okay. See if we can't get up there. Oh my god. Oh my god. I think 29 diamonds will do it. I would be shocked if we go through that many diamond tools. Let's finish up this stone pickaxe, actually. Whoa! Oh my god. I am so bad at parkour. Anytime I'm up high on a Minecraft structure, I get the overwhelming urge to just like jump around like a dope, and I end up like flying off of structures. Oh, okay, there goes that stone pickaxe. How much? 30 iron. Could go for a little more. A little down here. I do feel like I'm getting kind of bad luck with these pockets. I feel like I keep on getting one or two, and that's it. Here we go. Here's a whole bunch in one area. See, I said it. It's just like individual pieces of iron. A little up here. That's a little awkward to get to. Oh, perfect. Where am I? 37. We might be good because I don't know. Now that we've got diamonds for tools, I don't know how much iron we're really going to be using besides decorative elements. So I'm feeling like probably a stack will do us. And between what we've got up top, because we've got 4 plus 38 is 42, plus another 16 or so up top. So we might be good. I don't know if I'm going to go too crazy pushing for that much more. Now we have to find our way back, which is always fun. Oh my god. I mean, they're just sitting here. I gotta remember this in my other worlds, my Longplay world, my sort of forever world that I've been working on. If you go caving, you find so many more resources. Like I strip mine for diamonds mostly because I don't want to mess around with caving, because I'm really not keen on combat. I feel like I'm not good at it and it just freaks me out. I'd rather just like vibe and build, you know? And obviously though, when you go on in a cave, you just find so many diamonds. 32 diamonds. 32 diamonds. Is that more right there? That is more right there. How did I go by that and not see it? I feel like we're heading back up. Yeah, we're heading back up towards our sort of exit here. $36. We have more diamonds. Or no, we don't have more diamonds than iron, but we're close. It is a close race. Okay. If that doesn't cut it iron wise, we can always come back and check it out and sort of hop around. I really want to do some adventuring before I don't want to plug away too long at mining right now. I want to get some adventuring going. Obviously, we're going to have to do some mining down the road to grab stone and deep slate and stone variants for whatever we're building today, but right now let's get up and out and do some adventuring around. All right, brand new day. Let's grab our little setup over here. Maybe splurge and do a diamond axe and a diamond pickaxe. And then we could really toss. I mean, we don't need them. Let's just go over here so we don't pick them up again. We could toss the wood pickaxe, the wood axe, and the stone axe. And that, and this. And I'll hang on to the gravel. I'll use it for coarse dirt. We don't need the mutton, though. Okay. Just want to make sure I have room in my inventory for everything I'm going to need. We still have 30 diamonds. Oh my god. It's out of control. Out of control. Okay. Let's grab that. And let's grab this. And let's set out. Ooh, I see a village over there. Let's check that out. Oh, a ruined nether portal that's like partially buried. Anything good? Not really. Nope. Not into it. Hello? I don't need any of that. Are there no villagers in this village? Okay, I see iron golems. Oh, there are some. It's just children. Oh, okay. Who's supervising these children? They're all alone. Gonna steal your hay bales because I love hay bales for decorative stuff. Never know what tool to break hay bales with. I guess it probably is a hoe. Probably way more than we're gonna use, but good to have. All right, come on. Give me spruce. Give me spruce. A whole bunch of birch. That's spruce? Oh, I think that might be spruce. Oh, yes, it's spruce. We love to see it. We love to see it. I am stuck in a tree. Okay. Whoa. There's a lot going on in this forest. Ooh. This is kind of a cool area. Do we still have our boat? We do. Oh, that's a furnace. Don't want to throw that down underwater. Would a furnace still work underwater? Is that a spruce village? I think that's a spruce village too. Yeah, that's definitely a spruce village. Damn, this is a cool seed. I feel like I always luck out with these seeds being really diverse and having a lot going on with them. All right, let's get some trees down, shall we? So last night, my partner's away right now. I feel like he's been away for the last couple videos. He keeps on coming home and being home for like 3 days and then leaving on trips. But last night I watched a few movies. I was kind of in a DreamWorks Pixar mood for some chill, kind of funny and lighthearted sort of animated movies. And I was looking for Shrek because I absolutely love Shrek. It's such a good movie. The whole series is honestly really good. I mean, they do kind of decline in their quality over time, but you really can't go wrong. They're all pretty good. But so last night I watched Megamind, which if you have not seen that movie, do yourself a favor and go watch it because it is such a good movie. It wasn't the first time I had seen it. I had seen it before, but it is such a funny movie. I think it's Will Ferrell and Tina Fey, and oh my God, it is just absolutely ridiculous. The comedy, the themes, the jokes, it's just above anything else I've seen. I remember when a friend of mine showed it to me and she was just, she couldn't even give me words for it. She was just so excited to show it to me because she knew I'd love it, and she was not wrong. I absolutely did love it. I was cracking up the entire time we were watching it. All right, I'd love to grab like a few saplings. I'm trying not to stray too far from where I'm cutting down the trees so that way I can collect the saplings that are dropping, because obviously grabbing a little bit of spruce wood is great, but I want to get some for some big spruce trees so that way I can just grow those right away. Let's grab as much as we can. I'm not even worried about using up all this diamond axe because we have so many diamonds. We can just build as many more as we need. Cat. Okay, that's 16 saplings. That's more than enough to grow, was that 4 large trees? So we're good on that. So we got our spruce. I think we're good. We can head back because I'm really vibing with that first area we were in. And ow, sweet berries, gotta love them. And we can sort of start thinking about a build. As I was cutting down those trees, I kind of had an idea for a build, so I think we got a rough plan now, so we can start kind of playing with some different designs for this build that I have in mind. We're gonna need a whole bunch of stone, so we're definitely gonna need to grab some of that. Let's head back and we'll sort of pick up where we left off. Honestly, I'm kind of vibing with the top of this hill. I think it's a really nice spot. And let me free cam this. Whoa, okay, that's a little menacing. I don't know. I mean, even right here, Granted, it is backing up. I actually, so what I have in mind, that might be kind of a cool feature to have it back up against a ravine like that. Yeah. Okay. I don't want to overcomplicate finding a spot, so let's set up. Let's get going here. Throw down the crafting table, the furnace, and let's make a chest. Nope. And we can throw down some of our stuff, the hay bales, the coal, all the spruce wood, deep slate, these guys, the iron. Let's hang on to the bucket of water because we might go mining in a little bit. Saplings. Saplings we're gonna plant actually, so we'll keep at that. Hang on to that. Let's smelt the iron. Diamonds we'll hang on to. Bed we'll hang on to. Let's find a spot for these saplings that's kind of out of the way, but not so far away that they won't load in and grow. Maybe, is there like a good spot down here possibly? Yeah, there's like a nice flat area right there. And there's an entrance to a pretty cool looking cave right there. So that's a great place to get started on grabbing some stone. All right, we'll get our spruce supply growing. And let's check out what's going on in here. Got our water bucket so we can get down pretty safely. Oh, wait, is this the cave I was in? Oh, yeah, this is the cave I was in. It's all lit up. How about that? All right, so we made it back, which is cool stuff. Let's start lighting some of this up. A little more iron here. Let's grab that. What is this? Oh, it's a geode. Huh. Funky. Whoa, there's a whole bunch of iron around here. I know I should be going for stone, but definitely gonna pick up any extra iron we can. We're gonna need a decent amount of coal too, because we're gonna have to smelt a lot of stone back to smooth stone. Gotta auto-proof this. Otherwise, I will fall down and die. I'm always so surprised by how high I get level wise when it comes to these peaceful long plays. Sometimes I'm finishing up with 20, 25 levels or so. And it's shocking to me because I feel like gaining experience without mobs is really tricky, but it does give me hope for maybe one day doing a kind of forever world peaceful, or at least doing like a longer term world in peaceful that can be, you know, just a place where we like vibe out, and you know, we can do like a lot of different builds and build up like a bigger area. Oh man, Iron City up in here. How much iron do we have? Another 25. That's probably good. Maybe we'll pick up this a little bit right here because it's easy to get to. And then I'd like to head back towards the entrance to this mine and start just picking up a whole bunch of stone. A little more coal here. How about one last little bit of iron? Okay, I think we have reached the entrance to this again. So now let's just start carving up some stone. Let's gather. Honestly, I might just burn the entire diamond pickaxe on just grabbing stone. So I grabbed quite a bit of stone, probably 10-ish stacks, and then 5, 6 stacks of andesite. That should be a good start. If we need more than that, we can always come back down, but that should get us going there. Let's get back up and start smelting some stuff. Oh, I'm stuck. Oh, and we've got some trees grown, which is awesome. There was just one more kind of adventuring thing I wanted to check out. So that spruce biome could connect to an old growth taiga, which then in and of itself could connect to a lush cave. And either way, either we find a lush cave and we can get some moss to make some mossy cobblestone, or we find a bunch of, there it is, we find a bunch of mossy cobble in an old growth taiga. Either way, I would really love some mossy cobble. I think that would be a nice little addition to this. So let me bank all this stuff, and we can get to smelting the rest of this iron. Got a bunch of coal. I don't know why those didn't stack. And put down the seeds and the extra iron. We've got our bed. We've got our bucket. I don't really... Well, let's hang on to the bucket. We might need it. And then let me grab the crafting table just in case we need that. And then let me just grab the chords of where we're at. Okay, so we're at 190 by negative 850. Okay, just in case we get lost, I feel like I've got a pretty good line to the taiga biome, But just in case, we've got the cords now, so it'll be easy to find our way back. I'd be really disappointed if we ended up getting lost and not knowing how to get back, but I'm pretty sure it's just through this village, kind of off in that direction, and then we hit the taiga, and then hopefully that will connect to an old growth taiga, which we can do a little bit of plundering in, I guess you could call it. But yeah, let's head off in that direction. All right, we are kind of striking out on the idea that there might be an old growth taiga or a mossy or lush cave around here. Pretty much it appears that on all sides this spruce biome is bordered by just classic forest, which is definitely disappointing. I was really hoping to find some mossy cobble to do some building with. I think, just for the sake, I don't think we've killed too much time doing exploring or anything. We've already grabbed a ton of stone. We have, you know, a good source of the spruce wood we're gonna need, which are the two major components of what this build is gonna be made out of. I think for the sake of trying to do this right, I'm gonna craft a boat and I'm gonna just set out and see if I can't find a old growth taiga. You know, I've already long ago lost my heading. I have no idea where I am or how to get back, so we're definitely gonna have to use some coordinates to get back. I think it was like 190 by negative 850. I'm pretty sure were my chords. I know you probably just saw it 5 seconds ago, but I took a little break and did some chores and everything, so I'm not 100% sure where that landed. But let me do a little bit of boating around and see if I can't find something different. All right, we've got a second spruce biome here. That did not take long to find. I literally boated for a few minutes, not even, and I found this, so that's great. So why don't we do a little searching through here? That's not it, right? Oh, we're gonna have to trudge through some snow, which is always kind of stressful with the powdered snow and everything. I guess because we're in peaceful, it's not really too much of a problem. But here, I want to make a shovel really quick, just so that way, in case we do get stuck in some powdered snow, we can dig our way out of it really easily. I think in general, these biomes don't have too much powdered snow. I say that, and then I'm going to get stuck in some, like, right now. How much you want to bet? All right, let's keep looking around. So it looks like this snowy taiga biome doesn't really connect to any old growth, or it may, but it is out there. I mean, we have traveled quite a ways. You know, we've got some plains and classic forests here. So I'm feeling like we may have struck out on the idea of mossy cobble. As much as I want to have some integrated into the build, we may just have to live without it, which is totally fine. We can kind of fake mossy cobble with leaves. If we add in enough leaves and do them in the right sort of arrangements, we can kind of make it seem like it's mossy. So I think we'll survive without it as much as I want it. So now I've got to find my way home, and I cannot tell you how many turns I made and how many different directions I walked in. It's probably part of the reason why I didn't find anything, is because I was just going in so many different conflicting directions. I always find that when I walk in a straight line, I tend to find stuff a lot easier, but I sort of went in a circle around the first spruce biome, and then I jumped in the ocean and, you know, went relatively straight out, but still kind of zigzagged a little bit around some of the coastline for a little bit. So we're gonna have to sort of suss out the best way home. And, you know I should pull up my cords, but there's just a little part of me that's running back that's hoping I can find another old growth taiga. Is it that? What about these? These seem kind of big. Oh no, those are regular spruce trees. Okay. All right. I concede. No old growth taiga for me today. Let's see. Where are we at? Ooh, we are a ways out. Okay. We want to go down on that one. I want to go down on both of them. It's this way. Right? Yeah. It's that way. Oops, I always do that. I mix up F4 and F3. All right, so we're going to go in this direction and head home. There's some wood down there. I know this isn't at all what we came looking for, but is that a mine shaft? Is that what that is? Why is there wood down here? There's just this like random platform of wood. Anybody? Oh, there it is. Okay. I was about to be like, has anybody ever seen that kind of thing before? I don't think there would be any kind of mossy cobble in here, right? Definitely some coal. Maybe we should pick some of that up. Yeah, I'm not going to get too into the weeds with this. I ended up going in a different direction because I'm holding out hope, but I think I need to let it go. It's not going to happen. I'm sure. I mean, I know there's an old growth taiga somewhere in this world, but it's not around here. Oh my god. Here we go. All right, we're getting closer. That's going up. That's going up too. Wait, okay, that's going down. That's going up. There we go. Okay. That's our heading. Right? Hey, is that dark oak? That is dark oak. Let's grab some of this. Wait. Do lush caves sometimes generate under dark oak forest? I feel like I've seen that before. All right, well, let's grab some dark oak really quick and then maybe explore around a little bit. I don't know how I didn't go buy this on my way out. I know I kind of went around a big birch forest, so... And I know birch forest and dark oak forest always border each other. All right, so I feel like an absolute dope. I I mixed up my chords. I was supposed to go to 190 by negative 850, and I think I went to 850 by negative 190. So I need to go in the opposite. So okay, I want that to be going up. Okay, and then I want that to be going down. So I gotta go in like this direction. Oh god, navigating in Minecraft, especially in new maps, you know, once you've had a map for a while and you kind of get a sense of where everything is or certain directions and certain landmarks to keep track of, it makes it easier. But when you're in a new map and you start going in the wrong direction, it's so easy to just go really far and then suddenly realize that you're, you know, hundreds of blocks out and you've been walking in the complete wrong direction. Granted, I I didn't write down the chords. I just got them in that sort of screenshot on my recording, and then I was, you know, confused as to why I couldn't figure it out. So, okay, I mean, there's a jungle over here, which is kind of cool. I could grab some bamboo and maybe find some string somewhere and make some scaffolding. I'm gonna grab the bamboo for sure because that's a good get. Let's pick some of that up. But hopefully we're going in the right direction now and I can get us back to the spots. All right, let's just grab a little more just in case. I mean, if some string just magically drops on us, I want to have a decent amount. How'd they get all the way over here? That's crazy. All right, still going in the right direction, right? That's going up. That's going down. Yeah. Okay. All right. I'll keep trucking away. I'll see you guys when I get back. Hey, and we're back. Fantastic. I was getting a little nervous there. I literally had the cords up the entire time because I did not figure out how to get back. Is that? Oh no, it's a pig. For a second I thought that was a pink sheep and I just got really excited. Okay, so we are here. We are at our build site. I have to reorient myself because it's been a few days since I was working on this recording, so I can't remember. I know. Okay, so yeah, there are my trees. That's my spruce wood for the build, and this area right here was where we were kind of thinking about throwing down our build, which I actually really like. I think it's so cool. It's sort of up on this cliff's edge around this sort of ravine, although it's a cool ravine because it's still got grass in the bottom of it. So awesome. So we're all set. We can start kind of picking away at this after doing a little adventuring to see what else is out there. I got to take stock of what we've got. Bunch of andesite, bunch of cobble. So yeah, this is all good. We got the dark oak, which is really great. I should have picked up more saplings just in case, but I don't anticipate using a lot of... Where did I get the carpet from? Oh god, I'm gonna have to look back and see where I got carpet from, because I have no idea how I got carpet. Let's put down the wood. Let's throw down the crafting table. And we can put down the sticks and the iron pick and the boat and the buckets. And I'd say the next thing to do is just grab a bunch of that spruce wood, cut down those trees, so that way we can have that on deck. Actually, really quickly though, why don't I set up a little bit of a furnace bank? Because if I can't use... The idea in my head for having the mossy cobblestone was to do mossy cobblestone, and andesite as a palette, but because I don't have mossy cobblestone, I think the next best option is going to be smooth stone, cobblestone, and andesite as a palette. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then I've got 4 of those, so I could smelt up like a good 4 of these stacks of cobblestone and just get a bunch of smooth stone. So let's make a bunch of furnaces, and let's just round off that stack and grab a bunch of coal. Oops, there we go. Split that again, split that again. Awesome. So we got that smelting. I don't know why I'm carrying around the diamonds. On the little trip, it made sense because I wanted to be able to possibly craft up replacement tools. But now that I'm back here, I don't need to carry around the diamonds. So let's grab some wood. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh my god. How did I get down there? This is the issue with recording the way I do, because I just take these long breaks, like multiple day long breaks between recording sessions. So I get back into the world and I'm like, where am I? Who am I? What is this? I have no idea, like, the decisions I made, and I end up rewatching all my footage when I'm editing the video. But when I'm coming back after a little break, I'll usually just watch the last 5 minutes or so of the last segment that I recorded, so that way I know where I was and like the decisions I was making in that moment. But yeah, it definitely can be hard to sort of retrace all the steps you made days after you made them. I'm just gonna cut down all these trees. That should be way more than enough wood, I think. I'll replant them just in case, but I would be shocked if we go through this much spruce wood. So we'll get firing away on that and get our wood supply sorted. All right, we got all the wood that we could ever possibly need. I will genuinely be shocked if we go through all that spruce wood. Granted, I am going to use a decent portion of it in log form, so we may end up burning through a little bit more than I'm anticipating, but I would be surprised if we need to go get more wood. But I did replant those just in case, so we'll get some more. And we got a ton of saplings from that. I feel like sometimes those tall spruce trees don't drop that many saplings, and I have the whole boatload. So it's a good thing. So let me toss all of this down. I might need to upgrade my chest game because we are getting a little hairy here. We got the stone stuff. The real star of the show in this build is going to be stone. It's probably going to make up 70% of what I have in mind. So that's going to be kind of the main element. I honestly don't think I'm going to use any deep slate in this build. I know that's kind of a departure for me. I almost always incorporate deep slate as a roof texture, but I don't think it's going to really do anything for this build. If anything, I think it's going to make the color palette a little too busy. I was sort of had it in mind to do something kind of simpler. So definitely not feeling like deep slate needs to be involved. If the only supply that I'm worried that we don't have enough of is stone, but I am a chronic over preparer in these videos. I keep on making these videos and getting to the end of them and having 2 chests completely filled with materials that I didn't even touch. So I'm gonna get started on the build now, and if we need more supplies, that's fine. You know, I've got no problem going back and getting more supplies. So I'm going to flatten out this area and we'll have a nice big open space to get the build started. So I did go see the Minecraft movie, and this might be sort of a hot take. I know I've seen a lot from the community about, you know, opinions about it. I'm not even gonna like name opinions because I think most people do feel a certain way about it. I actually kind of liked it. You know, it was silly, and you know, as an elder Minecrafter, as somebody who's a little older, it was definitely not geared towards my crowd. And that's fine. You know, I didn't expect it to be, because Minecraft is a kid's game. Like it is. It's for little kids. But I ended up really enjoying it. I mean, there was a lot of really funny references. There was, you know, the cast was really kind of star-studded. There was good jokes. There was good humor. It was just overall really fun and enjoyable to watch, you know. I'm looking forward to watching it at home, sort of in my own space, because I went to the theaters and I brought my partner, and I could not tell you how he couldn't even contain his excitement. He was so excited. I am joking. And we went to the theaters, and it was a little rowdy in the theater. There was like a lot of like hooting and hollering, and I got that, you know, like people were really excited to see the movie. And I'm certainly not going to harp on anybody who wants to like really express themselves during the movie and be excited for it, because like it is sort of revolutionary, you know, like we're getting a movie about something that we all love so dearly that, you know, if you feel the need to hoot and holler because of it, I guess go right ahead. But it just, I'm looking forward to watching it at home, because there was legitimate parts where I was trying to hear what they were saying in the movie and I couldn't, because people were, you know, cheering and clapping, and that's again, that's all fine and good. Like I'm happy. I'm more happy to see people be excited about the movie than hear like boos and stuff. Like the cheering and everything sort of showed me that like there is a lot of support for it. But it was a little tricky to actually get the real audio and sense of the movie. So, but overall, from what I watched, it was a really fun movie, and, you know, well worth the watch. So definitely, if you haven't gotten tickets and gone to see the movie, I would say do it, because it's entertaining, it's funny, it's you know, witty, and if you like Minecraft, you know, and you're not a stickler for everything being exactly the way it is in the game, then you'll enjoy it for sure. Okay, so we've got this nice flat area. That took like 2 seconds. I mean, that honestly, I think is enough space. I might just bump out this layer a little bit and just get like a little bit more room on that side. And then really, I mean, that's probably all the space we need. This isn't going to be a huge build, and oh, it's getting dark. Oh my God. And I don't think we need a ton of space, so I think we're all set with that kind of little platform there. I'm gonna sleep, and then I'll just quickly do a little terraforming to flatten out that edge over there. Boop boop, and we will get this nice and terraformed. Yeah, let's just bring this out so that way it kind of meets up with this edge a little bit better. Oops. It was definitely a fun experience seeing the movie and, you know, hearing that enthusiasm, because I've never been to like Minecon or like any sort of like video game expos or anything where like a lot of video game fans, and especially a lot of fans of, you know, one game in particular, like Minecraft or something, are all together at once. And it was sort of exciting to hear people like that excited about it, because it was validating. It was like, I'm not crazy. There are other people out there that love this game as much as I do, you know? And so it was, you know, and of course the whole time it was happening, I kept, like, my partner kept looking over at me and like rolling his eyes because he just doesn't get it because he doesn't play Minecraft. But I was like laughing every time, like, yep. And it got to the point where something would happen and I'd be like anticipating the inevitable shouting and hollering and laughing and clapping. I'd be like, yep, they're all gonna lose it for that bit. It was really funny. But yeah, I'm gonna reiterate what I just said. Definitely go see it, you know, because it's a good time, and everybody should get a chance to judge it for themselves too, you know. Like, don't just go on what other people are saying. That, you know, if somebody's like reviewing it online and they're talking about how they didn't like it, you know, give yourself a chance to form your own opinion about it, because there may be parts about it that you enjoy, you know. So yeah, it was a good time. Oh my god, it's just that one block that I misplaced. I hate it when I do that, when I misplace one block and then I end up being off on what I'm doing by one block. It's like, okay, yeah, this is way more than enough room. I'm just gonna clear the grass off of this, and yeah, we'll be good to go. Let's just get some of this out of here, some of this out of here. Perfect. All right. I think we are ready to start building. All right. So if we want to get started building on this, I got to get a sense of where everything's going to sit. And so basically, I'll explain it now. The build I have in mind for today is kind of like a miniature castle. So it's going to have like a tower and a little hall and sort of a wall with like maybe two more smaller towers. And so it's not going to be a big build, and I definitely am going to try to flex my muscle to restrain myself size wise, because I don't want to get it in the weeds with a massive build. Because the last commentary long play, which definitely go and watch it, because I'm really happy with how that build came out. I started building it, and I think a third of the way through, I realized that I had gotten myself into some deep water because it was quite the build. So, but let's just like start laying down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe do 7, 6, 7. That's it though. I'm not going any bigger than that. Yeah, I think a 7 by 7 is good for this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then let's just finish this off. All right, so that's the base of what's gonna be the tower, and then we can do, this will end up being a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so a 5, and then we could actually do this. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 5. and 7. All right, so that's our hall. So it's like hall, tower, and then I don't know if I should. There's a part of me that wants to stick another structure off of here, and I think it would be kind of cute to even just do like a 5x5. So 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Does that look too similar though? No. I think that looks fine. Yeah, that's cute. I'm into it. The one thing I might do though is I don't necessarily know that this needs to be centered on this structure. Like maybe what we should do to give this thing a little bit more shape is make this a little off center. So let's see. We do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 5. Yep, and then whoops, a little off there. Wow, getting a little ahead of myself. Okay. There we go. What are we looking at here? How does this look so far? I think it looks good. There's almost a part of me that wants to pull this one off center now too. I think that might give it a little bit better of like, I don't know, just a little bit more life to it than all these structures being like perfectly built off of each other. So let's break this up and do it again. And it might even be just bringing it out from this wall. So if we do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then finish. My God, I am really struggling to get these blocks in place. How are we looking? It could go back one more. It could. I'm fine with that too. I think that would be kind of cute to have it sort of sticking off here. So it would be like right there. And then this one's right here. Yeah. Yep, that's super cute. I like that. That is, you know, a nice little base of structures to kind of get us started. And then for the wall, thinking probably gonna set it in by 1. So this will be like on the outside of the structure, and the wall can come from here, and it'll be like 1. Well, let's just like get a kind of a shape going. And then same deal on this one. Okay. I think I can cut it off a little earlier, like probably around here is a good spot to end it, just to make it like proportionally the right size. Otherwise it's going to be like really long and kind of narrow, which I'm not a huge fan of. I'd rather have it be more like even. So let's count it from here. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, so let's take out this one. I think it's like that one. Those line up? No, those don't. There we go. I think that's even. I can't really tell, but it's close enough. And then what is this? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ugh. I do not like that it's an even number. But you know what? I think that's okay. I think I'll be able to make that work. It's not like I'm lining up any roof lines along that edge, so I'm not terribly worried about that being an even number. I am like wanting to bring it out a little bit more and have it kind of like over here a bit more though, because this looks good to me. There's like kind of a roundness to that shape, but here's just this like harsh corner, and that's kind of messing with my head. So I want to play with this side a little bit more. Maybe what the solution is sort of as I'm building this, kind of what's coming into my head is this is going to be like a relatively tall tower. This is going to be like a shorter, more simple tower. This is going to be a hall. And then I was thinking maybe I do another 5x5 like right here, and that'll be another one of these towers. And then we'll do two pretty small towers, like 3x3 towers up front, to sort of round it all out. So let's set up a spot here for another 5x5. So probably like right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5. Cute. Yeah, I feel like I can repeat the size of this because it's in like a totally different position and they're not lined up, and so it doesn't feel like super like even, if that makes any sense. And then we can throw down our sort of outer wall here. Okay. Yeah, that feels so much better. It really does. Yeah. Yep. And then we can throw something going on right here. And maybe there's something to, let's count this out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if we knock this back by 1, and then do like a little, I mean, it's going to end up being another 5x5 because that's pretty much the smallest you can make a feasible tower, but I'm going to make it kind of round like that without the corners. Okay, cool. And then this does not line up with that though. If I want it to, here, I hate to have to drag a whole bunch of blocks over. Let's do it at dirt so that way we can pretty easily dig it up. All right, so do we feel like that's far enough from this tower? I'm just gonna get the shape of it down. Oh, do I need more cobblestone? I need more cobblestone. I almost wonder if it doesn't need the tower on this side. It feels weird to not have it. Okay, one more idea. What if we go for an actual true 3x3? So it's gonna be a real tiny guy. Interesting. I am kind of into that, actually. I'm almost thinking I should do that on this side, too. Alrighty. It's looking pretty cute. And then there's a part of me, I have no idea how wide this is in between. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So what we could do is we could have, because I kind of wanted to give this a little bit of shape coming out. So did like 3. And 3. Actually, let's do this instead. I know it's even numbers, but we're gonna make it work. All right. Yep. That's a really good shape. I think that's a great starting shape. And obviously, as we're doing it, things can get edited. We can kind of change the shape of some stuff, or we can play with, you know, the heights and the sort of orientations of things. So we're obviously not fully, you know, sending things from this point if we don't want to. You know, we can edit. So awesome. Of course, I wanted this to be like a little castle, and it's gotten, I mean, it's still pretty small. I mean, I've built some castles that are, you know, sprawling. So this is pretty small by my standards, but it's not, definitely not little. And this is going to be like a gatehouse type structure. So awesome. All right. I think we should just kind of get going on it. The only thing I'm worried about is just laying down all that stone foundation. I feel like I don't have enough stone, especially because I think the majority of this is going to be made out of stone. I mean, maybe the walls we can do out of logs, like these, the outer walls. Although I kind of wanted to give them some depth with like stone and logs. So doing that combination, I think would be nice. And then the towers, I was thinking stone, pretty much everything else like stone with like some log and wood accents, and then wood roofs. So I really don't want to like over prepare because I do that so much. I mean, we've got 4 stacks of cobble, 4 stacks of andesite. I think it might be worth, and I hate having to pull us away from the build for a little bit, but I think it might be worth just running and grabbing maybe like 4 more stacks of cobble or like just a few more stacks of cobble and smelting some of it into smooth stone. So that way we've got like 6 stacks of that or so. And then, I mean, I don't know. I'm probably way over preparing, but I just don't want to have to stop. I guess we could, you know what? No. Let's just start building and we'll see where we land. I say we start with this big structure here. I think that's a good place to start. So we can knock out the corners. Although I guess some of these corners are going to be a little funky because they meet up with other sides. Like, do I put a beam or over here? It's like the most awkward. Do I put a beam here and then another beam here for the hall structure? Probably not. All right, we went up a little bit. It's feeling good. I know it looks a little wonky because I didn't put beams on two of the sides. I'm sort of reeling from what to do about where the beams are supposed to go. Because, oh, I forgot to be building up my staircase. Oh, well. Because, like, this beam is going to kind of, it's going to intersect with this building. So I don't know if I want a beam there. And then I think looking at it, I think I should just chuck the beams in, and then if I realize that they look funky there, then that like we can take them out. But I think it makes more sense to just start with them in, and then they can be sort of edited out if needed. Let me just get my dirt staircase in place here. There we go. So I'm looking at the height here on this, and I think I want to go maybe, I mean, where are we at? What are we looking at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think I want to go like another 3 or 4 blocks up. And then I'm debating whether or not I want to put like an actual top on this tower, or if I want to just kind of flatten it off at the top. There's a part of me that does want to put a top on it. Nothing super fancy or complicated, but just kind of a little something to kind of give it a little bit more of like a fantasy vibe. So I'm gonna get up that next like 4-ish blocks because it was 11, so that gets us to like 15. And then I think we'll be good, because if we're gonna put a top on it and there's gonna be a roof on it, it's gonna have a bunch more height from there, and it's already starting to look pretty good. I just want this to be the tallest part of it. And granted, if all these structures are like one level high, like 4 and 4, or maybe like this is 4 and these are 8 and then these are also 8, this is still going to be the tallest structure. But I kind of want it to be the tallest structure by a decent bit. I don't want it to be kind of like dwarfed by all the other structures. So I think just getting those extra 4 or 5 blocks up on this is gonna make it different. So let me throw those layers on. That honestly might be too high. That's a little, it's a little bit taller than I, let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but I think I'm literally just gonna shave off this top layer and then call it there. That's the height. I think 15 is a good height to sort of work with. So let's knock that off, and we'll clear this off, and then I think we'll be good on the main structure of this tower. Yeah, it's a good start. It definitely is. It's a nice color palette. It's a good height. It's nice and simple. I mean, right now it just looks like a block because that's all it is, but it looks pretty good. So I'm happy with that. So now, I mean, I would love to kind of just bring this guy home and really finish him off. The thing is that if I want to put a top on him, I definitely want to do it out of some sort of texture or color that we don't already have introduced into the palette. And we've got the spruce and all the stone elements together. I was thinking of reserving dark oak for the trims on the roofs. So the next one, or the next color or palette that I was thinking we could use is oak wood. I think oak wood would blend really well into this palette as just little pops here and there of like little accents. So I'm gonna go, there's a whole bunch of oak wood over here. I'm gonna go chop down a couple trees. I don't think I'm gonna need a ton, probably like a stack or two will get me there. And yeah, we'll use some oak wood. I grabbed about 3 or 2.5 stacks of oak wood, which I think is going to be more than enough. And then I just threw together some stairs, slabs, and trapdoors to kind of get a trim in place so we can get a sense of what this is going to look like. Let's get up here and kind of lay some elements down and see how it all goes together. Thinking probably starting on the edges here. So there. And then what if we did slab, trapdoor, slab. Oh, that's not gonna work, is it? Here, wait. Sure, that's gonna look nice. Yeah, that does look nice. I guess what we could do is we could do another trapdoor, another slab, and then a stair. I think that's probably the move. So trapdoor, slab, and stair. Ah, perfect. Yeah, that's great. That's perfect. That looks super cute. And then let's just run this all the way around the edges. Okay, so that's our trim around it. I think that's pretty cute. I'm almost wondering if I should bring it out. I know it might be like kind of crazy, but I feel like I should bring it out one more block. Like, would it be weird if I did something like this? Like, capped it off on the corners. Oh, whoa, oh goodness. Oh, that was fun. That was a good time. Bust out of there. Probably about where I'm gonna put the door anyways. Is that too much? I actually don't think it will be too much if I do that all the way around. I'm just trying to be able to give some depth to this top tower bit. I want it to be able to have, like, you know, beams and then the wall behind the beams, because I did that on my last tower build and it looked really good. So I'm just trying to kind of get a sense of if that'll work. I think it will too. It's not like offensive, this bit. So I'm gonna make a whole bunch more trapdoors, and we'll throw those up, and hopefully we won't have to take them down. Yeah, no, that's cute. That's cute. It's definitely a little different. I wonder if maybe I should bring some of this down, like get these stairs down to here and do like a full block there, just to give it a little bit more of like a proportion, because right now it's like, it's just this really quick, like it hits it and then it just shoots out. And if there was a little bit more to kind of lead up to it going out like that, it might not be such a jarring transition. So, oh my God, every freaking time. That would be like right here, right? That's our stair, yeah. So if we did the stair here, and then we did like a full block, but then the same deal right here. There, full block. I mean, even just that, what does that look like? Okay, that looks a little better. I do think I'm gonna have to do some pretty major editing on this. So what I'm thinking now is, let's take down this whole bit here. I'm not quite sure how well it works. And then let's repeat. So stair, full block, and then stair, 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 full block, stair, stair. How does that look? Ooh, I like it. Yeah, I like that. I think that looks cool. And then we can even get a little bit fancier with it. Oh my God, I'm gonna walk off this edge again. Where is it? Right here. Cannot tell. Oh, perfect. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm like craning my neck around my screen like I'm gonna be able to see it any better. It is. It's right there. So take that out, and then let's replace you with a stair, and then these guys with stairs too. Or that one with the stair, this one with the slab, and then this one with the stair. Yeah, I'm liking the way that looks. The one thing I'm gonna have to be cautious of is somehow, how did this, wait a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 7. Oh, because I'm doing 3, so I'm getting some even numbers here. Interesting. Interesting. All right, well, let's keep doing it. You know, I'm always so perturbed by even numbers, but the thing is that I can make even numbers work. You know, like any build you can make an even number work. It's and I feel like people who don't worry about counting out their builds and having them all like uneven this way and even that way, they end up getting like better builds because they're not overthinking it as much. So I'm gonna try not to overthink it as much and just sort of let the build evolve as it needs to. So I'm just gonna redo all these sides and get them set up the way this front side is, and then we'll be looking good to get working on the rest of the tower. Alrighty, that looks great. Yeah, that's super imposing. Oh, what's just... How did I miss those? When did that happen? I feel like I've flown around this tower like 10 times and I didn't see that. Oh my god. That's gonna really bother me. I'm just gonna go fix that right now because I cannot abide by that. Let's strip those. There we go. All right. Got that all sorted out. It's the funniest little things that we forget to do. All right, so we've got the support structures in place. I think they look super cool. They're definitely very, you know, medieval kind of feeling to them. Now we can throw on the beams. And this is going to be kind of an interesting exercise because as we were seeing when we were figuring out this, if I throw beams like here, here, and here, I'm going to end up with 2 wide gaps in between, which again, I know I was just saying I can just make even numbers work, but it really, especially only a 2 wide gap for like a window, doesn't really work. Like you need at least 3 for a good window. So there's a part of me that's almost wondering if it's worth throwing like a beam here and a beam here, possibly. Yeah, I'm gonna try some different things out. So let me grab the spruce wood and convert some of this to planks, and we'll get going on those. Ooh, that could work. Yeah, it's gonna be a little interesting doing like details on the windows. Actually, no, I think I have an idea for how to do that. Yeah, that could totally work. I think that's good. I like the idea too of having one of the beams kind of sticking out, and then the rest of them, like, it sort of gives it like a more of like a shape to it as opposed to it being like a perfect square or something. So yeah, that's good. I like that. I think we're gonna roll with that sort of setup. I think that's good. I don't really want to overcomplicate it, you know? I think it's nice, it's simple, it's got this nice warm kind of classic color palette, And I don't want it to be too busy. I mean, I'm definitely going to do a bunch of detailing around them so they feel a little bit more filled out, and there's going to be, you know, like a more shape to them, so that this is not the final form. But just to get like the base of the structure in place, I think we're looking good. Now it's just getting the roof on, which I do always struggle with when I do kind of more depth to walls. I never know where to line up the roof line with. So let me grab some dark oak, because that's what I wanted to do the roof trim out of. And let me just run around and make sure I don't need to pick anything up. I think, yeah, I think we're good. But let's grab some dark oak, and we can throw down a whole bunch of this stuff. And our dark oak. And we'll do a decent bit of stairs. Yeah, that's good. That is probably plenty. And then let's get up here. Do I have dirt? I do have dirt. Okay. 2 random cobblestone for some reason. And let's just get all the way up now. Actually, I should probably do this from the outside. So the question is, do I run the trim like this? Kind of on top of that central beam? Like, how does that look? I mean, I don't hate it. Yeah, I think I can make that work. I don't know. Otherwise, it's going to be like really far out there if I have to run it from like, or it's going to have this like awkward bump in the middle. I think that's good. Yeah, I think that's good. So let's run that around. Okay, it looks super wonky right now. I know. I know. I I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. I don't know if dark oak is the color for that. It's kind of, I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. I'm anxious to go any further with it because I don't want to start going down a hole, you know? I'm just curious if it would look any better if I think it's like this one. Yeah. What if I did well, it's gonna be like that, and then that. Nope. Okay. See, yeah, that looks like really funky. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. What if we're definitely gonna have to do some playing with this. What if we just like expanded it even further? Like brought this over Huh. Gosh, you know, I feel like that might work, you know, like that the shape might work, but the color is just kind of messing with me. I think I'm kind of trying to grasp at straws here and go a little too in too many different directions with the colors. I think I've just got to keep it consistent. I think it's just got to be spruce, you know? Otherwise, the only other solution I could see to making this color work would be to change all these details to dark oak. But I mean, I like them as spruce. I think it works better with uniting them with the beams. So I just have to go back and do it all out of spruce instead. So it's all right, you know, we try something. I thought dark oak would look good, but there's certainly nothing wrong with getting it in place and realizing that, like, maybe I wasn't really on the right track there, you know? There's absolutely nothing wrong with realizing that a plan that you had in mind isn't going to work and having to adjust as needed. It's like one of the beautiful things about this game is that you can just like try stuff, you know. There's really no it's not like you're gonna lose points or a life or something because you tried something that was maybe a little outside the box or you thought would work but ended up not working. I don't know what I'm going to use this dark oak for now, though. So I thought it was going to be the roof trim, but I don't think, I mean, maybe it just won't work up there and I can use it elsewhere. It could be like a nice accent wood for like some other little details around. So that's a possibility. There we go. I think that's a better roof shape. It looks a little wonky right now because I haven't filled in this empty bit, but I wanted it to come out there. I think that kind of lends itself to like the shape of the tower a little bit more, having it almost like a round roof. It's cool because the tower starts off so rectilinear and then this top part gets like a little bit more shape, and now the roof has like a lot of shape to it. And I'm sort of digging the fact that the transitions along the tower are kind of building out like a different shape. I think that's so cool. There we go. Yeah, that's awesome. That's going to look really good once the rest of the structures are in place for sure. It's definitely going to maybe dwarf everything else a little bit. But that's okay. The hall we can make a little taller. Like maybe we'll go 2 stories with the hall to sort of balance it out. These guys will probably be about 1 story. I think it would be kind of cool to have everything sort of go down from here. That's another reason why I'm working on this first, is because I wanted to get like the biggest thing out of the way, and then everything else would be like little quick structures. So yeah, let's put a roof on this bad boy. I don't know, I don't want to give it like that much more height. I don't want it to be like absurdly tall. So I'm trying to think of like a good roof shape to go with. I mean, with me and these roof shapes, like if you've watched my videos, you know, I gotta kind of play with them for a bit. It's hard for me to just like throw them up and have them right the first time, but who knows? Maybe this will be the time. This will be the time I get it right the first time. That would be kind of nice. But I'll kind of play with this roof shape and see if I can't get something that's got some height to it, but isn't, you know, a towering monstrosity. It's kind of like it's an interesting shape. I don't mind it, honestly. I think it looks kind of cool. I do think the fact that it's all one texture is aiding me because it's all kind of blending together and it's just giving me the overall shape and not all the awkward little steps. I really do think it's pretty good. There might be like a little bit of editing. I don't want to go too crazy with it though. Like I've been trying to mess around with doing more roofs out of just full blocks and not feeling like I have to do the entire roof out of stairs. And I think you sometimes get yourself into trouble when you do too many stairs, because it starts to get like there's all these different little levels and steps up and transitions happening, and that is sort of what's starting to go on here. So I don't want to get like too much more complicated with it. I might bring, like, I think something that could kind of unify it a little bit more is just by, and it could be really simple, and I know I always say this about stuff, is like knocking these out and throwing some full blocks here too. And then maybe even just like one stair right here in the middle. Well, we'll look in the morning. I can't really see it right now, so we'll go to sleep and then we'll check it out. I do think that helped. Yeah, I do think that helped. I think if I just do that around, because then this last layer of all stairs is sort of like the trim. Otherwise, there's like too much, like the trim is like too thick. And so like this is the trim, this whole bottom layer of just stairs. And then the rest are the steps up to the inevitable actual point of the roof. So cool. Wow, I feel like I got that in one. I mean, I had to mess around with it a little bit, but on the last tower build, the last commentary long play, I had to completely redo the roof because I did it once and it was so absurdly high, it was like comical based off of the shape of the tower. And so I had to, you know, just like redo it entirely. And I don't know, I feel like this one came out a little bit easier. And I feel like this one was a weirder shape too, so it was like a little trickier to get in my head. But I think I got it. Definitely let me know in the comments if you like this roof shape or not. I'm kind of partial to it, but you know, I feel like I've never done a tower roof twice the same way. I feel like I always do some kind of variation. I end up like messing with some sort of arrangement of the blocks and end up getting a slightly different look than before. And I love that about my build style, that I'm not afraid to like try something different, and there's always something new kind of around the corner. But yeah, I don't know, I think we're looking good. Yeah, I think we're looking good. It's got height, but it's not too tall. It's definitely like a solid tower for a castle build, you know? So now we're just gonna have to make sure to integrate lots of spruce and some oak into the rest of the build, so that way it makes sense. Because right now this is the only element of the build that's pretty much fully built out, and I don't want it to end up feeling like a huge departure. Like there's gonna have to be some oak and some spruce. I mean, the spruce was definitely going to carry over because that's just the roof color. Like all the roofs of these builds are going to have spruce on them. But I do feel like I'm going to have to make sure to introduce a little bit of oak. Also, don't mind that one little stair there. I was just trying to map out like where the roof had to go height-wise for me to be able to fit some details in around these windows. So that's going to stay there, and it's going to kind of inform how that detailing around those windows is going to go. So cool, awesome. Well, I think the structure itself is good. I am gonna leave this hole here just so that way I can get into the top here before I build the ladder up, or the staircase. I don't know how I'm gonna do the sort of entryway system into there, but I think that's good for now. All right, so I guess we can move on to another structure. We should probably just build out from here, like just do these adjoining structures instead of trying to like go out and start over here and then work our way back. I think that would be a little backwards, so we don't want to confuse ourselves. So let's put this down and probably just fire away on the hall, right? Might as well. I mean, it's a pretty small structure. It's not too big, but I do think just based off of the height of the tower, we do have to go 2 stories up with it. So let's grab some stuff. Let's get some stone happening. Let's get some andesite happening. Let's get some cobblestone happening. I think this one I'm not gonna put beams on. I'm just gonna go full stone and introduce wood elements elsewhere. So let's mine this bad boy up. I'm looking at this structure and I'm sort of thinking about how to carry over wood tones and color palette. I think what actually might look good is we do this base out of stone like this, and then for the second floor we come out, we give it like a bump out, and we go up with wood textures like oak. We do like an oak second floor with maybe some spruce beams. And so if I'm going to do that, I feel like I have to figure out how high this structure is going to be in order to know where everything's going to line up for that. Otherwise, I'm going to be like building it up and then having to like break parts of it to fit this structure in next to it. So I got this base up, and that's good. That's all that's going to be made out of stone for this structure. And now this structure, which is I'm planning on being entirely out of stone, is going to be has to be built up next to know where everything's going. So let me get going on that. Oh, I should have. Oh my god, I forgot to build a staircase. Oops. Here, wait. I can maybe build down. Let's start over here. Oh. Perfect. Okay. We got to way back up there. I think that's a good height, honestly. If we just throw like a cool kind of deal on that with some wood on top, like some spruce wood on top, I think that's like all set. Obviously, you know, on the outside we'll throw some windows, and then definitely this build is going to have a lot of leaves growing up and around it because I want it to feel very overgrown, like this castle's been here for a while. So, all right, I'm trying to get a sense of, now we should get back to this structure. And I think one of the things we're going to have to do is kind of move this staircase around a little bit. All right. And, well, that's actually not going to be there. All right, let's get some spruce elements out. I feel like no matter what I do, if I make 2 chests for stuff to go into, I always end up opening the one I don't need first, and then I go to the one I do need. I don't know why. I don't know what is that's about, but I just always go to the wrong one first. Probably I think some slabs and some trapdoors are gonna do it for this. Let's see. Well, here, let's get across here. So this is gonna be lab, trapdoor. Beautiful. And then if we're following that convention, it's trapdoor here. Then slab, Trapdoor, lab, and trapdoor. How's that looking? Nice, nice and fresh. Perfect. Do we have? Yeah, we can put a door right in the middle of that, and it'll look good. Cool. Okay, let's get some wood stuffs. Oak. And probably some spruce logs. We may end up going through all that spruce, which is utterly shocking. So definitely a spruce log there. And there. I'm wondering if we do another one here. No, that's gonna mess with things. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, I only made those 3 high too. Those need to go a little higher. There we go. Rip that. Rip this. And then the beams aren't gonna really work on this front bit. And that's okay because it's like kind of hugged on both sides by these towers. So I think that's all set. We don't need to worry about that. And then it's just getting that stuff in place. Cute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, that's the right size. All right, and now, now let's get a roof on it, right? We'll just keep with the classic spruce roof that we've been doing. Although there is a part of me, get some more of these out, that thinks it might look kind of cool to integrate some logs into the roof. Are they doing anything for it? Honestly, I don't think so. I think I can take those out. I mean, they're cool, but they're not really like interspersed enough. And I'm like, I don't really want to put them here because I think it'll sort of mess with like the trim line, if that makes any sense. So we're gonna change those back out to stairs. Perfect. All right, that looks good. Let me just get in here because I dropped some stuff. And I need to light it up and make some sense of what is going on in here because it is a little bit crazy. Nice. I know it's like a very subtle little piece of it. Honestly, we could have gone shorter on the roof. Like, I'm almost wondering, does it need to be that steep? Should I have used slabs instead? I don't know. Because it feels a little tall, like looking at it from far away. On this side, it doesn't feel as like that's an issue, but okay. I know I just went to all that trouble to make that roof, but I think I'm gonna redo it. I think we're gonna go with slabs this time. How's that look? I think that looks a lot better, honestly. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Oh god, there's so much stuff around that on that other side. Let's clean up all this. And get back in here. Clean up a little bit of what's going on in here. Beautiful. Awesome. I love that. I think that's so cool. And that leaves us room. Like, the other issue I had with that was it was coming all the way up to like this block. So I didn't have a lot of room to do like some kind of top around this tower. But now there's enough room to squeeze something in here and be able to get like a nice little like top around that tower. So I'm feeling good about that. I'm thinking I don't need to make this structure like this structure. I think it can be a little shorter, because if we're thinking about this having a tower in each corner, we've got one tower, we've got two towers, and then we're gonna have these two towers. So right there, that's 4 towers. I think 5 towers is gonna be a little bit much. It's gonna be kind of like tower heavy, I guess is the best way to say it. So I think this can probably be, you know, slightly shorter, maybe like a 8 high structure, because this is 12, right? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. Yeah, so I think we can go up 8 with this one, or this one, and it'll kind of get the job done. And it doesn't need to be the same deal like a full tower like this. It could be, you know, something a little more just like low key. I don't know how to put it, but it doesn't have to be like a defensive tower. So cool. We'll get started on this guy. Actually, let me grab my stuff. Oh, okay. Seriously, I want to know what the tally is of me opening that chest. I do think I'm gonna need to get a little more cobble stone, because we're looking pretty short on that. I'm also wondering, I think I can take down this scaffolding structure. Let me just make sure everything's all sealed up. I may have left like a hole up here. Yeah, I did. I left a hole right there. But we can definitely get it down from like here to there, and then I'll just get some stuff to fill that in. Yeah, that feels like a good height for that structure, especially because it is going to get like a nice little roof on it, and that these are maybe going to be about as high, if not actually a tiny bit taller. So there's going to be like a little bit of variation already. I mean, I am loving the kind of levels that we've got going on with this. This is higher, this is a little lower, this is super high, this is a little lower. So we're kind of jumping all around. I almost wonder if we like even need these towers, you know. I don't know if they're like not gonna do anything or what. I mean, we can certainly build them up and get like a sense of what they're gonna look like. They could also only be 4 high and then have like a top on them, and that could be like, you know, sort of then the whole structure will sort of go up along like this axis here. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I don't know what I just did. But yeah, it'll be an interesting sort of playing with shapes and everything. So one thing I am noticing is I believe I am pretty, oh my god, I believe I'm pretty much, yeah, out of smooth stone, running a little low on just cobble too. So I should probably take a quick trip and just get a bunch of stone stuff, because if the rest of this is going to have a lot of stone elements to it, then we probably got to invest some time in just getting, you know, a bit of that, so we're all full up for the rest of the build. So I'm gonna throw down some of this, and I'll keep the dirt on me, and maybe I'll just like make another diamond pickaxe just in case I blow through the rest of that one. And I'm gonna have to find a decent cave, but oh, and I need more torches. Yeah. Let's do, it's probably plenty. Yeah. All right, let's go on a little mining adventure. I thought maybe a low roof on that would look good. It does not. Why does that look so strange? That looks so weird. I don't know why that is so, does not work. I don't really know what to do for a roof on this structure. I'll have to kind of suss it out though, but it's definitely not this, that's for sure. I don't think I said I grabbed a whole bunch of more cobble and andesite, and then I've got a bunch of smooth stone smelting up here. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna try some stuff in terms of sort of like trim slash tower toppings on these guys. Let's get up there. That's definitely better. That's better. It's so simple though, you know, and there's something to be said about just getting some details on here. Like I'm thinking some oak trapdoors on these will definitely make that feel a little bit better, and then probably some spruce trapdoors underneath these to feel like it's kind of coming, it's like more secured to the tower itself. So that is definitely gonna add something to it. I feel like it needs to be just a little bit higher though. I don't know that we're getting the full effect, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to suss out like what the system is for it on this one, and then I think I'll just end up doing this one in the same fashion. Let's throw on the trapdoor situation and see if that doesn't give it like a little bit of what we're going for in terms of like variation and more sort of elongating the shape of it. All right, I tried something else. I don't think that's going to work though. I wanted to give it, I don't know, something. That's a bit much. That's better. Still not great though. All right. All right. No, we are leaps and bounds beyond what we were doing before. I think that's a really good system. It's a little busy. I mean, I'm not going to pretend like there's not a lot going on, but I mean, these towers are so simple. They don't have a lot of detail on them, and we'll chuck in a few windows with like some awnings and sills and everything on them, so that'll kind of dress it up. But like when we look at the difference between like this and that, I mean, it is leaps and bounds better. It's got so much more character to it. So I'm gonna copy that around. I'm gonna use that convention and create, you know, a look all the way around this that looks like that. And I think we might be in a good place for that to kind of be the way we do these tower tops. I mean, granted, it's literally just gonna go on that one too, but oh my god, that's so much better. That looks so good. No, I'm digging that. I think we're on the right track here, if not basically there. I mean, the only thing that I'm wondering if it might benefit from is something on the corners. And honestly, that could be maybe some fences. Did I get everything? Do I have any more stuff floating around over here? Okay. And oh god, I just had a really good idea. Okay, so this, you know what I didn't make is a stone cutter. It's a bit odd for me. I almost always make a stone cutter. And some smooth stone. Stone cutter. Can't believe I went this long without one. Throw that down and throw that down. And then some sticks. Let's get some spruce wood going. We are definitely going to need to get more spruce wood. I was sure that we weren't going to need more, and I am eating my words. Probably going to need as many of those as we can get. Let's do it from this side. Ooh, yeah. That looks good. That looks good. It's definitely, again, it's busy, but there's going to be a lot more. Like, I think it's a little jarring because everything else in the build doesn't have a lot of details on it. And I think once we get more details, like stuff around these windows and some some details on this, and then this guy having the same convention there, it's not going to feel as out of place. So I'm good with that. I feel really good about the way that looks. So we're all set on that tower. Now we just need to get the same thing going on this tower. And I'm gonna take down this dirt scaffolding nightmare that I created. Oh, that looks so cool. Oh my god. That is so cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so now we can get working on the walls, which will be pretty simple. I did want to give them some depth, so I think it might be something where, here, wait, let's count this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this one's super short. I think this is 3 at 1, 2, 3. I guess it doesn't need to be like perfectly all lined up, but I wanted to give it like a little bit of like variation in having some stripped spruce beams and obviously the stone texture. So like just as a placeholder. So like if we did a beam there, a beam there, a beam there, is that gonna look weird? Or do we like do something more like that? Thought that disappeared. I literally, because it turned to grass so quickly, I thought it like disappeared. If we do that instead, that actually works a little better. Yeah, I think that's good. I do have some stripped or some spruce on me. All right. Yeah, I'm good with that. Let's just build up the walls now. Get some stone stuff on us again. All right. Yeah. No, that's totally good. I'm down for it, you know. I'm not going to I don't want to overcomplicate it. And it's really such a small section of the build that, you know, it doesn't need to be this like whole funky thing. I would love to squeeze on some more details. And I mean, maybe there's a world where like this can go there. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know. I think it might be good. There's not really much else I can do with it at this point. I think I'm going to keep forging ahead, and if it's really irking me in a little bit, I'll play with it and see if there's not like a better solution. But I think we gotta keep moving forward. Let's get this little bit done. And this guy's gonna be like really simple. Okay, that's great. It looks super funky right now because it's all by itself, but that I kind of was able to cheese it a little bit and make that work, so we're good. Now we gotta get started on these little towers. I don't know, you know? Do we need that tower? Do we need either of these towers? Does it need to be higher than the wall? You know, these are all excellent questions. I wonder... So if I make it, if I go back down to the height of the wall, maybe just have it like one above. And then I just pull some like really basic. Well, I want this to kind of work with this. So wait, I should go back down. Well, no, I want it slightly above. So here, let's just do this. I don't know, I'm kind of into it. And I feel like I don't need to do really anything on this side because there's going to be like in my head, I'm going to put like a walkway here that's going to lead up to this. And I kind of want it open. Like maybe I'll do like a little something to kind of cap that off. But I think it just needs sort of the defensive stuff on the outside. Yeah, I think that's good. And a lot of these details will kind of round out as we're getting there. So on this one, let's see. Went with some odd numbers, like some really weird counting on this guy. I do think I'm gonna move it back. My intention was to kind of have it come out, but I don't think that works for sort of the style of wall I'm building. Okay. Sorry, I kind of just locked in hard to getting this kind of together. So, you know, we've got the wall texture here. We've got this kind of trim here that's like a miniature version of what's going on these guys. And then I tried to carry over the same sort of style of what's going on those walls, on these walls. There are some awkward bits, like, you know, right here doesn't really work the way I want it to. I'm not like offended by it though. I think it's totally, you know, I think it's fine. I wish it didn't, you know, line up that way. And I guess I could have done it like opposite, like done the stairs coming down in the middle. But even still, on this one, it was only 3 wide. So my kind of, you know, 2x2 system of these guys going up and down wouldn't have worked there regardless. So it was sort of tricky to get that one lined up right. And I think that's probably the best that's gonna get. Like this bit too, you know, I'm gonna try to not get too hung up on it and just let it ride for a little bit. And if it's really like just not working, we can change it. But overall, I mean, I feel like we are really cooking here. I think, you know, there's a lot of really fun shapes and textures. I love the combination of the stone with the spruce. You know, I think it was a good call to put the spruce beams on the big tower, because it kind of, the story in my head is that it's such a big tower and there's so much to support that it needs some extra supports, but everything else can just be stone because it's all like pretty small and it's not rising up too high. Maybe this one needed supports, but honestly, I think it's good. I kind of like the convention that there's just like one little bit with some spruce supports. We've got our wood here, and then, you know, everything else, the spruce texture is just kind of sitting on top. So I really like it. I'm super pleased with how it's coming out. We just need to figure out like the gate setup now, which I think is gonna be pretty simple. Let me just knock these back one, because they don't need to be 3 deep. I think it just needs to be 2 deep. And then I was just gonna build it up to the height of the wall and then just sort of like run overhang over it, and maybe if there's room, continue this. I don't know if that will work though. Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, those are gonna meet up a little weirdly if I try to do that. So maybe it's just a stone overhang and then some kind of like decorative element to kind of halt that system there. So let me get a little bit more smooth stone. It's not going to take a lot. We are nearing the end of the need for stone in general. Yeah, I think that's good. And we can even keep this going. Throw it in over here too. Yeah, that's great. No, that's perfect. And then do I have any more? I don't have any more oak trapdoors on me because I chuck one up there too. Can certainly make more though. Or, well, I can make 2 more. Perfect. Yep. All right. I mean, the structure is done. You know, like we've got all the towers, we've got the little hall, we've got the big tower, we've got the wall, and the kind of like supporting, like, you know, corner ramparts or whatever you want to call them. So, I mean, this is looking so good. This is so cool. It totally fits in that spot, you know. It feels like nice and defensible. You could really only approach it from this side. I am so thrilled with the way this looks. And I mean, now it's kind of like punching out doors. I mean, we could have one here for this tower. That is the door for here. That's the door for here. And then maybe in here, how does this line up? Like if I punch a door out here, that's kind of odd. What if I do... I could do a door like here. That might be better. And we can just fill that back in. Yeah. And then I've kind of decided there's not going to be... I mean, there's no point to having an entrance or any way to get into these. So, I mean, like, I think what I might do is I might just knock off like that. And then we'll just like fill this in. I mean, it's peaceful, so I don't really care if like, I don't think nothing's going to spawn in there. And then the last little bit of what I wanted to do was run like a walkway along here. of that. Get rid of that. And then just do like a little kind of walk up to that. And same with right here. This is looking so cool. I love it. I feel like whenever I've built a castle before, I've gone like super overboard. And don't get me wrong, this is a little overboard. I mean, there's a lot of detail going on. Things are feeling very, you know, full and I mean, but it looks really good with all the kind of shapes and, you know, the consistent use of spruce and oak elements and like the little pops of deep slate and yeah, it feels really good. So I'm super pleased with this. I think we just got to get some details on stuff now. We just got to kind of flesh it out a little bit and make it look good. And really, I mean, the most complicated part is going to be the top of the tower. And like some windows on the tower. These guys, when I put windows in, I have done windows on towers like these before, and they really lend themselves to something just like super simple. They don't need to have like all the little bits and bobs that I normally put around my windows. That kind of like ruins the simplicity of the tower. Into it. So into it. All right, let's get some stuff together for some details. So on these windows, as you can see, I already put that stair there to kind of start off what I was thinking about doing, which is sort of putting something all the way around it. So it's going to be like stair, 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 trapdoor, 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 and it's going to build like a whole structure around the windows. So let me get over there and we can kind of make one out. Okay, so that's what I have in mind for the detail around these windows. I think it looks pretty good. You know, I'm feeling it. And there's definitely an opportunity to maybe put some fences in here once these all sides are kind of set up. But yeah, that's what I have in mind for that. So I'm gonna get these all sorted. I think that's all the sides. Yes. Yeah. Yep. I think it looks really fun. I am super like into it. It feels very medieval. It feels, you know, there is a lot of spruce going on, which is why I think I want to put some oak fences right here just to break that up a little bit. So it's not all one color. But I mean, even with it being a lot of spruce, it still does it for me. It's not like a too much spruce. It's just it is a decent amount of one color, which can be a little overwhelming, but I think we're good. Now, oak wise, we still got some. And did we have any where'd that birch wood come from? Starting to run really low on spruce wood too. We are scraping the bottom of the barrel, which is both like funny to me and encouraging, because I am a chronic over preparer when it comes to these commentary long plays. I'll spend way too much time getting way too many resources and end up with all this stuff left over at the end. And if I can not end up with that much stuff, that would be a good thing, I think, just to be able to say like, hey, I actually kind of dialed this one in and I didn't go super crazy with it. But yeah, we'll see where we end up with that. Let's see, how are we gonna get up there? Probably have that last piece of dirt, probably like right about here's. Yes, those little bits of oak fencing really break it up, you know, just enough that it doesn't feel like just this big spruce block up at the top. So that's great. I feel super good about that. So yeah, I mean, we might be good on detailing on the top of the tower. Now we just need to get some windows in the tower itself. And honestly, that might be the best move for that. Is we probably want to start just like laying some floors in, like a floor here, a floor here, floors in this structure, and then floors in the tower itself, just so that way we have a good sense of where everything's going to line up with windows. So I think, I mean, my inclination is to do oak wood for floors because we've got a lot of spruce going on in the build, and I think it would be a good break visually to be able to go inside the builds and get just like a bunch of oak coloring, you know, like the sort of lighter, more yellowy, warm color. So let's get some slabs going and let's lay down some floors. Got a bunch of windows punched out. Got a few here, got a few in there, some here. I decided to kind of off center or whatever these windows, like sort of make them staggered, because I think it looks a little more interesting. Like if there was two windows on each one and they were exactly even, I feel like that would kind of, I don't know, it just, I don't think it would work as well, but I think that looks good. Should have gotten some out here. Maybe I won't though. Like there's a part of me that almost thinks that all these ones that are on the ground floor, if this is a castle, should be filled in, because you don't want, you know, some invaders or something to be able to come in through your ground floor. You want to have some height to keep yourself safe, you know? So I'm wondering if all these ground floors should be filled in, but windows there for sure. I need to get some windows on this guy as well, but in order to do that, I need to finish up the floors inside. And I am just about out of every or all the wood types that I need. I have no more spruce. I'm really low on oak. So I need to do some tree chopping and get a little bit more supplies. And then I think we'll be good to get the windows in place. And honestly, I think it's just windows. Get the windows and floors in place. Get the details around the windows. And then it's just like little aesthetic things like leaves around and, you know, some texturing on the ground, and then obviously some furnishings on the insides. But I'm probably not going to go too heavy on the interior furnishings, just because I want this to feel like a little bit more bare bones. And if you know me, if you've watched my videos, you know I'm not very good at interior decorating. So I'll do what I can, but I'm not going to go, you know, overboard with it. So yeah, let me go chop down some trees. I grabbed about, let's see, 2.5 stacks of oak, and then just like a stack and a little bit of spruce. Because I mean, I really think we are narrowing in on the end of this build, and I really don't think I'm going to be using, especially spruce, because I used so much of it already in the build. I don't think I need that much to complete the elements that I'm going to use in it. So let me toss all this stuff down, because two things that I realized I needed to grab are some leaves, and I need to get some sand for some glass. So I'm gonna toss this stuff down, and then I'm going to, ooh, I don't need the sticks either. Let me grab some iron and some shears, and then let's see, then we just got to go on a little adventure to find some sand. There is a river over there that's probably going to have some. Yeah, that's probably the best spot to go look for it. So I'm going to run down there and check for some sand. And when I'm down there, I'll probably just see if I can shear off some trees and get some leaves. It's so funny. Coming up to this build, I I apparently don't have the ability to, you know, withhold myself or like meter myself in any way, because this thing is, I mean, for a 1 episode build, this thing is beefy. This is a big boy, you know. And I remember saying I want a small castle, and I guess there's really like no such thing as a small castle. Like I could have gone smaller. Like I definitely could have gone smaller. Like this tower could have been this size, and then everything else could have been smaller based off of that. It all sort of came from putting this tower in and realizing that I needed to scale everything appropriately to this. So it just got out of hand really fast, and I have no regrets. I think I made something really cool here, and I'm super happy with it. But it's I just need to be able to restrain myself a little, apparently, and I can't do that. So, all right, let's smelt up some glass. I mean, I don't need a lot, but I'm just gonna smelt. Oh, I don't even need this whole stack. There we go. But I'll just put that in there, and then I grab some flowers to make some white dye, because I'm gonna use some white stained glass because I love the look of that. And then let's cook up some, or not cook up, let's get some of this oak wood into planks and then into some slabs. Probably not gonna need that many, but we've got them now, just so that way I can finish off. Oh, and I need ladders. So I can finish off the floor in there. So had a bunch. There they are. Oh, there we go. Okay. Had to chuck that egg really far, apparently. All right, let's go up here, and let's throw our floor in. Up here, and then we'll do another floor. 2, 3, 4. Like, in terms of interior decorating, like, I don't even really know what to do with a space like this. Like, there might be a world where a crafting table and maybe a bench could sit. I don't know, though. Like, I don't want to mess around too much and spend a really long time kind of just throwing things around in corners and trying to figure it out. I almost feel like because it's a castle, it should be kind of more utilitarian, because it's, you know, a defensive sort of bastion. It doesn't need to be this decorative, pretty thing. If it was like a fancy castle with a ballroom and, you know, a mage tower and stuff, then I'd feel more compelled to do something a little fancier. But all right, and then I'm just gonna F4 this really quick. I can sort of get a window in there. Yeah, I can get a window in there, and I can get a window in there. I could get a window on all three sides of this one. So window, 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 and then down here it's probably just window and window. And then I'm still on the fence about having ground floor windows. I almost feel like I shouldn't, you know? I almost feel like it makes more sense if there's, like, for a castle, if there's not windows on the ground floor. And I don't think it's going to take anything away from the build to not have ground floor windows. So that just means I need to fill in these 3 windows, and then it'll have that really, like, defensive kind of, you know, feeling to it, where it's not so, because there's a difference between a castle and a palace. Like a palace is not a defensible location, you know. You're not laying siege to a palace, or you could lay siege to a palace, but it's not going to offer the same defense that a castle will, which, you know, the whole point of a castle is that it would defend you or be a defensive position against a sort of siege type thing. But for a, you know, it's not a palace. It is supposed to be kind of defensive. So I feel like I'm getting kind of defensive about it. I'm sorry. That was horrible. I'm sorry. Oh God. Smooth stone, and then smooth stone and andesite. There we go. Okay. That takes care of that. And we can throw this stone stuff down. And I think we are officially done with our stone products. I don't think anything else needs to be done with stone. This guy's got his windows. These guys aren't going to get windows. Yeah. I think we're good. I'm okay with this ground floor window because it's looking into this courtyard where you would be safe already. So okay, and then everything's got its floors, right? Sorry, I took a little break again in recording, so I'm not. It's got all of its floors. That's got that floor, and then I just did this one. I know that's got a floor. Okay, cool. So we're good there. So now let's start, like, getting some window stuff in. And I was thinking for a majority of the castle, fences, although actually I'm going to do wow, I really did not need this many slabs. I was thinking about going with oak fences. I think that might be the move to kind of carry over more of the oak kind of theme. So, and then I've got some sticks kicking around. Get some oak fences up in here. And we can fence that up. Get some fences in here, some fences in here. Cool stuff. And then on this structure, I was thinking glass. I think that might make a little more sense. But on this guy, also fences. Oh, that's the only floor that has a window, apparently. And then on the tower portion of this, I'm thinking also fences. Oh, this is where I never finished the floor. Oh. I knew it was somewhere. This is what you get for recording over multiple days and having to take breaks in between. I'm sure there are people like, no, you needed those slabs. Don't put those down. I completely forgot. That's where the floor needs to go. All right, let's get up there and let's get a floor in. Yeah, this last floor is a little awkward because it's so tiny because of the way I should have made the tower just one more higher, because if I had done 16, I would have been able to do 4 high floors on every one, but because I did 15, this last one's only 3, and so it feels a little awkward. Oh, I should have grabbed more slabs because I also want to put a ceiling in here. Perfect. And now it's all about exterior details. You know, what are we going to do to sort of dress these areas up? You know, for something like this, it literally may just be like that, you know? I almost wonder if that would look better as a stair, actually. Stairs. Oh, went too far. Yeah, I'm kind of into that. Yeah, that's cute. I'm into that. I really don't want to do anything else. I don't want to overcomplicate it, you know, especially on like the outside of a castle. And this is like another stair and then maybe a slab on top of it. How does that look? Oh yeah, that's super cute. That's perfect. Just adds like a little something around the windows to kind of make them pop off the build, but not too much. And then we'll just do the same deal over here. And then this guy, that might just be, we need that. Is that necessary? I mean, I kind of like it. I think it looks kind of cute. I'm sort of into it. And then might get a little fancier on that wood structure. Let's probably make a few more stairs. Although maybe on this wood structure we do it out of spruce, because if I do oak on this, it's gonna blend in too much. I just threw all that down in here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Chest monster has began. It's starting, guys. It's been going on for a while. Who am I kidding myself? This thing is an absolute mess. Oh my god. Okay. I am gonna grab those and these. And the sand is done, so we can grab this. For this to... I guess it's light gray dye. That's fine. Yeah, that's way more than enough. I think we literally needed like 12. And we have like 100. We have over 100. Oh my god. What are we doing? What are we doing? I was thinking today about some sort of different challenges I could give myself, especially for these one-off worlds. And one thing I thought might be interesting, and definitely let me know in the comments if you'd be interested to see a episode of this. I was thinking, what if I did a 1 stack challenge? And I know that like that's not something anybody's probably ever heard of before, but what I was thinking that could be is in the challenge, I can only use 1 stack of each material. So I can, you know, get like 1 stack of wood, like, or of logs, and then I can get enough logs to convert into 1 stack of wood, and then I can get 1 stack of cobble, and I can get 1 stack of iron, and I can only use 1 stack. And what can I build with that constraint, you know? Especially because, you know, my go-to thing with these long plays is to just massively over prepare. And I think it might be interesting to put that constraint on myself and make it so that way I have to, you know, be a little bit more strategic about what I gather and also how I use it after I've gathered it. Okay, that's cute. I'm into that. So yeah, definitely let me know in the comments if that's a challenge you'd like to see me do, because I may just do it anyways, but I'd be curious to hear if people think that's like a cool challenge to like put yourself into. All right, just do the same thing, right? Like, why complicate it? Do our wall. Cool. How's that look? Oh yeah, that's super cute. It's busy, but it sort of lends itself to the build, because there are some areas that are so plain and really open. And trust me, we are going to leaf the absolute bananas out of that. It's going to be leafed to infinity. And let's get up top. Really, nothing needs to happen on the exterior there. We just need to get some glass in the windows. And then I think we might be looking good on exterior details, actually. I feel like the actual building of this one took a lot longer than the detailing is going to take. Because I think we're like good on details, especially because I went ham on some details on the walls and the sort of like tower tops and everything. Oh, we need doors. That's another thing we need. Let's take a look at this. Oh, and we need a situation on there. Some oak. I really only have 1 oak stair. Of course. Of course. Ah. Ah. What do I do about that? What do I do? I mean, how offensive is it if I take that out and I put a stair there? I mean, that looks a little odd, no? I mean, it kind of lends itself to what's going on with the windows in general. There are definitely, for how cool I think this build is, there are definitely some awkward spots that kind of just happened, and I'm not really quite sure how to address them. So, you know, I think I'm just gonna live with certain things. I think overall, you know, the whole thing works together, but there are some bits and bobs around that I'm like, why was I thinking that that number worked in my head? And it obviously didn't. And now we're here. Okay, we can just put all this down. I don't think we're gonna need any more of this. And some doors. Where'd that spruce wood go? Did I put down all the other spruce wood? Where'd the other spruce wood go? Am I crazy? Okay, I see what. Okay, there's the other stack. And doors. Door. Door. Another door. And one final door. Needs a torch in here too. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay, let's knock out a little bit of interior detailing now, because there's like two last exterior things I want to do. I want to change out the inside of this to be a little bit more rough. So probably like a little bit of cobblestone, a little bit of gravel, a little bit of coarse dirt, just to make it look like it's been like heavily walked through. And then I also want to get leaves everywhere. So I want to knock out the interior detailing. And again, with spaces like this, it's like, what am I going to do in here? You know, I feel like maybe a crafting table, a chair, and a chest. Like that could be all I could do with that. So we'll play around with some stuff. And then bed. And then maybe crafting table in between. And then can I get to it is an excellent question. Oh. Bed. Bunk beds. Love it. I do believe I've got this interior detailed out about as good as I'm going to be able to throw it together. So we'll start here and we'll kind of work our way over. So this guy, I mean, some of these levels are super big, or all these levels are super basic. I mean, we got a bench, we got some storage. In here, we've just got some storage and crafting. And then in here, we've got just like a little sitting area. Maybe two guards who are like up here watching can come down here and have a meal or drink a mead. And so that's all set. Very cute. Then in here, this is like a little bit more, I mean, this is a little tight, but it's like a little bit more comprehensive. We've got our smelting, we've got some storage, crafting, an eating area. So it just kind of gets the job done. It is definitely tight. I almost wonder if it would benefit from me taking out these furnaces. Like, I don't know that they necessarily need to be there. And maybe it's that, take out those furnaces and stick them here. That might make a little bit more sense. So I'm okay with that sort of switch. I think that kind of fixes that a little bit. Then we'll do this one next, just because, again, super simple. We got, you know, storage, sitting area, crafting in there, storage and sitting area. And then that's that tower. And then last but not least, we have the main tower, which is sort of in my head like the main living quarters for everybody who's living here. Obviously, we've got a lot of eating areas around, so I didn't need feel the need to make this too expansive. Just like another quick sitting area, another little storage pile, some smelting and some crafting. And then up here, we've got our sort of first bunk space. And this is, you know, again, like where maybe some guards would stay. And, you know, you got some bunks there. And then in here, just a few more bunks and just a few more kind of basic living elements. And then up here, in my head, this was kind of like the captain's quarters, where, you know, the captain of the guard would be like planning his strategies, and he'd have his own private room with his own private smelting and storage and everything. So that's kind of what that is. This I kind of figured could be a cute, just like storage. Like you'd keep your dried goods up here. They're safe. They're out of the way. They're not going to get taken by, you know, people, you know, sieging your castle. So I think that looks good. And then up here we have sort of the Lord's quarters, and it's dark up here. We have sort of the Lord's quarters. And so, you know, they've got everything they could need, like a little dining space, a bunch of storage, a whole smelting bank, again, like a private bedroom and a desk to sort of plan strategies at and everything. So I think this looks super cute. The only other little details I'm going to throw around are some lanterns and some leaves, just to kind of brighten the space up a little bit. And then I think we are good on interior details. I just want to look at it at night when it's all lit up. This looks so good. The torches on top of the fence posts are such a vibe. I was thinking about putting lanterns up there, but I'm really vibing with the torches up there. I think that feels so much more like medieval castle. And then I snuck some lanterns in around this inner courtyard, so it's all well lit up and very safe. And then I just snuck some around on the outside too, just to kind of, maybe I could have squeezed one in over here, but I don't know. I'm also running low on iron, so I gotta kind of get a little conservative with it at some point. So awesome. All right, this is looking super fresh. I honestly think the last two things this build needs is some leaves and some detailing on the ground on the inside here. And we could be looking real good for this, which is awesome. How we looking? How we looking? Oh, that looks so fresh. Oh my God, that looks so good. Yeah, I can go a little bit more. Like some areas are good. Like this whole front area is good. In fact, I think the only place I need a little bit more is just like right there in that kind of awkward gap. And then I think we're all set with leaves. Yeah, like right here. Definitely didn't use as many as I thought I was going to. But that is some cool stuff. All right, let's get some detailing going on the inside here. And I was thinking grass paths for a majority of the entrance here. And kind of like rounding it off in certain areas. So like giving it some breathing room in some spots. And then just getting in, and let's just like taper this off too. And then just getting in a little bit of coarse dirt and gravel, which I might need to go grab some gravel. Okay, that looks good. I knew I had a little bit. Oh, did I? I could have sworn I had some. I've got like 13 gravel. Okay, let's go. I'll go on a little adventure and grab some gravel. I think we've got enough dirt to do the rest of this, though. I might have to finally use up my scaffolding dirt, but I don't think I need it anymore because I think we're good. So yeah, I'll be right back with some gravel. So I picked up about a stack and a half of gravel, which I already cooked some of into coarse dirt. I always say cooked. I didn't cook it. I just... Anyways. And so we're just going to throw that around and kind of make it feel like the ground is a little bit more worn in. And there's some rough spots around. If you've watched my videos and seen my build style, you'll definitely be able to call out the fact that I love coarse dirt. I love a good bit of like really rough sort of texturing in paths and around builds. So let's just get some of that in place here. I definitely want to leave a little bit of grass because I think it'll sort of lend itself to like the fact that, you know, this is maybe not like a super rough in like castle or super used castle, if that makes any sense. There's like little patches where grass has started to grow back now, you know? Okay. Beautiful. That's exactly what I had in mind. I think it looks so good. And then let's just throw some coarse dirt around the build. And then lastly, it's a tiny, tiny little detail. I've got some hay bales. I was thinking about doing some like hay piles in here. So like maybe a little pile right here. And then maybe a little something right here. Just like one more set right there. And then I don't think I have any barrels or... Do I have any barrels? I don't think I have any barrels left over. So let's just make some barrels and chests. That'll be plenty, I think. And then just burn a little more. A little bit of our last bit of oak wood. Some chests. And I just saw one last spot that could use a little bit of leaves. Just like right in here. There we go. Perfect. This might be done, guys. We might be there. I'm at the point where I'm just kind of nitpicking little things. I think I want some fences around on some of these, like maybe a fence here, or not fences, sorry, ladders. Maybe we pick one of these up and put a ladder here. I mean, it's super cute. It gets the point across. It does exactly what I was hoping it would do, which is be this, like, just this kind of not imposing. It's definitely not an imposing castle. To me, if I saw this castle, if I was riding towards this castle, I would think I'm going to be safe. Like, whoever's there is like going to keep me safe, you know? So like, it's cozy and it's cute. It's not huge. I love that this village is over here too, because to me, it's kind of like that's the village that the lord of this castle oversees, maybe, and in a pinch the villagers could come here and hide in this castle and be safe. So it's got kind of like that lore to it. I love all the details that worked out. There are those like awkward bits where some of the walls meet up, but I think they still ended up working fine. Oh, I could put a door there. Definitely get a door in there before this is done. Definitely had a number of times where I finished up these long plays and realized I'm like, oh, there's a hole in that wall and I didn't even realize it. So I like, it's always a little scary to me when I'm like finishing it up and I'm like, guys, we're done, it's over, we did it, and then I'm taking screenshots afterwards and it's oops, oh my god, I didn't realize there was a hole there. I'm also going to throw a lantern up here. It really needs one. It does. It's gonna irk me if it doesn't have one. I think there is the best spot for it. And then let's get that door in place. Beautiful. How about that? And then I thought I had one last lantern. I could have sworn I made two. Well, let's do this instead because we're kind of going with this theme with the torches on the fence post. Let's do like one here and one maybe here. And let's toss some torches on top of those. Oh, it's so good. I love it, especially when the light's hitting it like that. It just feels like, you know, I don't know. I've always struggled to make castles like, you know, not overdo castles because I built a lot of castles in my day. And I just tend to go all out. I mean, and there's nothing wrong. Sorry, I took some screenshots because the lighting on it is just absolutely perfect right now. But I tend to go a little overboard with my castles, and you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love a huge castle, but sometimes they're just kind of so big in scope that they can get a little overwhelming, and you know, you never really know where to stop. And then there's parts of it that are such huge projects. You're like, I want to put a whole wall around this entire mountain range. And you end up being like, that's going to take me a whole IRL year. Like I'm not going to be able to do that. So you end up losing steam and not being able to finish the project. But this is exactly the size I want. Well, it's much bigger than what I wanted, but it's pretty much exactly what I had in mind, and I'm just like super in love with it. So I think this was super fun. Let's just do one last little fly around. You know, it's got lots of little details. It's got a lot going on with the palette. I love the leaves sort of crawling up the back of it here. You know, it just feels nice and cozy and defensive, and I love it. So all right, guys, thank you so much for joining me while we've been building this. This was a lot of fun. I suspect this is probably going to be a longer episode, although I always say that and I'm able to edit it down, so maybe it won't be. But you know, if you stuck around this long and you enjoyed the content that I'm making here and you haven't, please consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel. Definitely leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what your favorite part was, what you might do differently, what you might change, what you liked about it. You know, just any sort of engagement. I love engaging with you guys. I love hearing what you have to say, and I love knowing the kind of stuff that you want to come back for and the kind of stuff, the different stuff you want to see in different episodes. But yeah, I had a great time with this, and yeah, I hope you did too. So I will see you guys in the next one.